Good evening, colleagues. I'm here again taking a peek into Native American perspectives. I'm looking tonight at Tim Tingle's young adult novel, No Name. Didn't realize when I began reading No Name that it is actually a trilogy. So I have only read the first one, and I want to tell you what I have found that has intrigued me. First of all, No Name is set in modern day Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma. It's about a young Choctaw boy named Bobby who has a young Cherokee friend named Johnny. Now they are maybe freshmen at their high school, and the backdrop to them wanting to be on the basketball team is really Bobby's troubled home life. His father, who's an alcoholic, is really rough with him sometimes when he's been drinking, and Bobby has dug a hole in the backyard, covered it with a door and some leaves, and he is just avoiding his father by living in this hole. Several people know about it, but so far his father hasn't. So I'm going to take you fast forward through the book a little bit to a scene where Bobby and Johnny have gone down to their neighborhood basketball court. Bobby and Johnny have been asked to join the basketball team. This has been found out by some upperclassmen who are not Native American. And they come out in a big group to the basketball court to intimidate these two Native American boys. So it begins with some racial slurs against Native Americans, and they ask the boys if they want to play some basketball, but what they do is throw a few cheap shots, bust Johnny's lip, and the stress kind of comes to a head. Something is going to happen. And this is where not the protagonist Bobby, but his friend Johnny says, "Hey, you got in some cheap shots. You're bigger than us. You're older than us. We get it. But we thought you came here to play basketball. So, do you want to play basketball?" Well, the guys finally do play a little 2-on-2, go a few rounds, and although the Bobby and Johnny don't win the games, they do win some respect. And by the end of the playing on the court, all of the upperclassmen, the white upperclassmen, are walking off to their cars. The guy who busted Johnny's lip comes walking back. "Hey, are you okay?" he says. And Johnny says yes. The guy puts his hand over his heart and shakes his head. And it's not an apology, but it is a way of making an overture. There are no more racial slurs. There is camaraderie. And I think it's a great vehicle to help middle school age children see how they can handle this kind of conflict. Think about how they would deal with racial slurs being thrown around, whether they have thrown a racial slur around, because a lot of this age come into conflict with someone from another race carrying bias, carrying prejudice, carrying a preconceived stereotype. And those need to be thought about, identified, and broken down. And I believe that the interaction between these boys on the basketball court is not just a view into Native American culture, but it's a view into our culture, how we have to begin to look at each other and deal with stereotypes that we may not even recognize in ourselves. I think it is an excellent way for young boys to think about the things that come out of their mouth, the things that they have decided to accept as true about people that they don't really know. It's a wonderful vehicle to promote conversation in classrooms. I would definitely suggest having No Name on your bookshelf, especially if you are a middle school teacher.